there were these trousers we used to wear that had a broad base. And then I wanted one of those. And I asked him for them. And he told me to go back to those that have been taking care of me.
Hey.
My own daughter has asked me where my father is. And she used to ask that a lot when she was 5, 6, and she's finding her identity. So she says, when we visit my mother, there are 2 parents. But when I visit your mother,
there's no dad,
Yes.
there's no Buka.
Yes.
no Buka.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where are you from? Who is your father?
Yeah.
Have I told you I celebrated my first birthday? I bought myself that cake. When I was 27,
When
is
he's
when
27.
that is when I had a real cake.
Yes.
Oh.
My shosho used to tell me, it's your birthday.
Ndoi.
Take this 10 bob. No, buffalo.
Buffalo.
And you take buffalo and tea.
Welcome again to the Container Podcast, and this is the space where we can get real
Rugged.
and
Raw.
Yep, that's what we do here. Our key agenda is to steward godly masculinity. That's what we are about. And we believe everyone needs a container, a safe space that can carry the weight and pressure of what they're going through. So please join a container. In fact, you guys need to tell us. We need to look for a name for our container audience. Tell us what would you like to be called? You know, I've never really
I
thought
think so.
about it because I feel like we need to address you in person now that we've built a relationship.
Yes. You
Right?
can call them containees.
Contents.
Contents. That sound off. To sound off.
It's off. You guys suggest. Tell us, what would you like us to call you? Because we already have built a connection. And karibu sana. And yes, my name is Kenji, and I'm going to be the host for today's episode. And with me
Kevin Kanyotu.
is my co-host, who's, I call him my ever-present host, is always here with me, right side like the Holy Spirit.
Hey. I can't match up to the Holy Spirit though.
You're ever-present.
But I'm happy to
But
be
I
here.
thank you. I thank you for always just being present. And with me, drum rolls. This is a man. You guys, let me tell you, key and brilliant mind. A storyteller. In fact, I hope we're going to keep the cause of the episode because I just enjoy just having great conversations with this man. So we're going to introduce him as my man, Jimmy.
Thank you.
Jimmy, do you want to complete your names?
Jimmi Kamau.
Jimmy Kamau. That's his name.
Waithera.
And Waithera. I did that intentionally because it's going to cue us into today's topic. So thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you.
And welcome to the container.
Asante.
Do you feel like you're in the, some people will call it the confession seat?
I feel like I'm looking at a padre
Yeah.
and a deacon.
Look at you.
No, I'm kidding.
Elevating us.
Padre.
In fact, you know, now that
Where?
you've touched on something, which I think it's important for me to address with our audience, and this is housekeeping. For those who are here for the first time, that's fine. You know, some ladies especially have been WhatsApping us and sending some messages, and I realized these topics are really hitting home. And then they respond and they're like, my husband needs to listen to this. Okay. Pro tip. Please do not, if you're in domes, I want to give you some wisdom. Your man will just put up a wall. Be smart about how you want him to listen to these episodes.
Yes.
Let it be indirect. Maybe you can just take his phone and follow the Container Podcast. And he just sees it on his feed. He's like, hey, there are these people in black t-shirts that keep showing up. Who are these?
Yeah.
Or have him subscribe. That's subscription.
And
is
that's the
also
thing.
something,
You
yeah.
subscribe
So
and-
you subscribe
that's a
for
better
him,
one, actually.
but please don't use it as a weapon in the marriage. Look at this man. Why can't you be like, no, that is not a very wise thing to do. So I hope you can take a few tips from us as men.
And you don't want to be clobbered out there.
Absolutely.
You're the guys who are making our wives be like this. Being chappled at home because of you people. I don't want to be beaten in the street.
This shit is
No,
true.
we are safe men. In fact, you know, I say men sometimes are very simple. Ladies, if you know how to, and why I'm speaking to ladies is because I feel they have so much power. if they know how to reward good behavior, we're like little puppies.
That's true.
If you want us to do more of that thing you like, reward us. Be kwa mjanja. For our global audience, be smart about it. Yeah. And when you do that, you'll start to see the man show up even better in the relationship. Don't bash us too much, even if you want us to change. Hey, is that an intro? We're not even into the intro. So
that's a charge.
That's a charge.
It's a charge.
So I before even we go further, I want to read a few comments, because our community, the contents are speaking to us, and they're saying this. This is Titus. It's like High Container Podcast. I've been following you religiously, and your topics are so touching. Some touch a raw nerve of my childhood and even my current youth season. I'd wish to join the Soul Tribe team and community, where I can spill out everything that has been choking me day in and day out. Oh man, I feel for you. We are having a live recording coming soon. Please be the first to enter that door. We would love you in our community. And so he goes on to say he's 23 years old, and this is just amazing for him. So there's another man here. He's a doctor. Doctor, he knows himself. He's dropped a comment, and I think he dropped on this or Oliver's podcast. He says, my story is pretty similar to what Oliver went through, and there are some profound points of bereavement, job loss, career detours, and loss of spiritual favor that could have led me to depression and suicide, not to mention the divorce in court right now. Very tender towards him, and he's like, I hope I can hear more about this. Blessings. Then last but not least, let me read a ladies. I think I've been reading all gentlemen. So this is from Bethel. You know yourself. It says, High Container Podcast. I love the amazing and vulnerable conversations you're having. They are quite insightful. I keep listening to them on repeat. Wow.
On repeat.
On repeat.
That's pressure.
And she goes on to talk about the episode she watched. I think this is Migox, and she's saying she would love for us to form a group for singles to mingle.
Wow.
Wait, now we become matchmakers.
Yeah, the Container Singles pod.
Coming soon.
That sounds good.
Yeah. So, let's go into our check-in as our tradition.
Yeah.
Kevin.
Yes.
Open us up with a check-in.
I will. Good. So this afternoon I check in happy. I check in fulfilled. I check in tender. I check in happy. Jimmy, it's good to see you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for coming. I'm eager to hear his story and all that, and I'm just happy that you're here. I'm also happy. I've had a good lunch. I'm having coffee. Yeah, this is my second cup. This podcast, things are happening. So I don't know whether I'll sleep tonight. After 2:00, getting coffee. I'm not sure about. I don't do too well coffee, but this coffee, thank you, Kenji. You've brewed it well.
You're welcome.
Barista in the making. It's very delicious. Tender towards my family. I'm feeling so. This morning we woke up to do exercises, and I'm just tender because other children are sleeping at 7 a.m.
Children are running.
So just tender towards my last born, Bodhaka, who was still dozing when doing the second exercise, third exercise. But it's just that they showed up. I think for me was good. Tender towards my son, who's been also working on a vacation job with one of our Soul Tribe brothers. So he's in the Mjengo with other people. Attending Mjengo matters. So it's probably now the second week that he's been doing this.
So he's Mjei.
He's in the Mjengo, but he's more or less like a clerk. So he keeps records and all that. So I'm eager to hear how the last 2 weeks has been. I've been checking in with him, but I've been avoiding to connect daily about the work so that he can just live and get the world running around him. Yeah, and just get a taste of what the real world
is about.
Chaotic world, how it is. And with that, I mean,
I see you.
I see you. Wow.
Thank you.
Hey, I hope at a beba like 80 kg Smith.
Smith is 50. Smith is 50. You are 81.
Someday we'll build
cement.
Cement.
Also 50 kilograms.
Our global audience needs to forgive me. Sometimes when I move into my native tongue, just draw that story as Shikad. What's Shikad?
It has catch.
It has caught me in a special place.
God is pleasure as well. I'm basic with him.
It has touched you.
It has touched you. Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
It's a touching topic. It has touched me. So how do I check in? I check in. I'm happy. I'm feeling hopeful. I'm so tender. I am so grateful. So first, my home. My home is like it's an arcade. Like it's busy. My household, activities in every corner. And it's amazing because it just keeps me going. There's a lot of energy within that space. And hey, my wife is she has superpowers. This morning, she removed my son's tooth. If there's something I do not know how to do and I stay away from, removing teeth.
How did she do that?
I'd rather even clean wounds, bandage. Man, she does it with floss. Man, say like surgery. Like surgery. She tells me, just smile. Pam! It's out.
Is that?
My son is like, what just happened? Dude, let me tell you, I even feel the pain for him, and it's such a clean job.
Very painful, yeah.
Such could be painful, I know.
But I tell her,
should have been a dentist now, other life.
I tell her she's so incredible at that job.
Hey, that's
so
great.
In case you guys need your teeth removed, we
have a dentist.
We have a dentist in our house. Yeah, and yeah, so one corner a tooth is being removed. This other corner I'm showing my daughter, I'm introducing we started talking to her about sex. Yeah, she's now pretty going to a teen. And so I use nature as illustrations.
Yeah.
And so I took our dog, our retriever, to go Saya. And because she wasn't there, I took a video clean. And the minute the dog saw, because the female was on hit, it was there to establish itself as king. So recorded the whole deed, and my wife was telling me, boss, I'm having too much fun with this, because now I called Niara. I'm like, yeah, Niara, we're going to get puppies. Oh, you should have told me. I'm like, come and show I recorded.
Oh, where the puppies come from?
So
the video, you had
the video
of these two dogs humping, and they got stuck.
They even got stuck.
They got
how are they sensitive that you are recording?
They decided to make it longer.
I don't know. Maybe they have an intruder
with the moment.
And then they said to make it longer.
Private moment.
Paula Sana. But you know what? It was such a great teaching moment. and my kids, my daughter, she was confused. She was like, why are they stuck? I'm like, so let's chat GPT what happened. So
we did that?
Yeah, we chat GPT'd, and she saw that she now read the biological process, and I'm like, yeah. And soon after 3 months, but there was a gestation period.
It's 3 months?
It's 3 months.
I don't know.
3 to 6 months.
I don't know.
I don't know. I have male dogs.
So we should expect puppies. And then she's like, really? And I'm like, yep. And so now that's just how the introduction, and then we just talked about other things, and it was just fantastic to watch. So makes me
thank you.
lighthearted and happy. I'm in.
I see you.
I check in scared. I was sharing with you, I was wishing an earthquake happened as I drove here, so that I don't have to show up here, but anyway we're here, and I'm scared because I have a story to tell. I'm happy I passed through my parents. or good breakfast. It's always a joy to see my mother, to see my grandparents. Always a joy. I check in also happy and tender towards my 2 daughters. My house is also a school. There is a 6-year difference between the first and the second one. So they are fighting. So my 1.5 is pulling the other, biting her bum, like trying to get over. And I think the fight is because the older one is home.
Right.
So there's a lot of fight. Also happy we've tried a new diet for the firstborn. She's has an illness that we've been trying to take care of for a while, and it's also a moment for us also to try the diet. And I'm seeing my wife and myself growing beautiful and great day after day because the new diet, and I like it because we've done it for 3 weeks, and I'm happy there's some improvement with my firstborn daughter.
Okay.
And with that,
I see you.
You
can share that diet.
Yeah.
I can share that diet.
Yeah.
I can try. It's you will have to go back to sorghum and millet and cassava and
cassava
and terere for international listeners is amaranth. You have to go back to those kind of foods. Because what the doctor told us is we are feeding our children off supermarkets.
Yeah.
And
processed
foods.
Yes.
And just not to mention a brand, here is that a lot of food that is advertised is not good. But we buy everything that's advertised. So rice is now being advertised.
Yeah.
So the nutritionist told us, not because you have a special child,
Yes.
but just so for you guys, if you want to look nice and live longer and a fulfilled life, this is how you feed. So even when I go to a restaurant right now, I'm very careful with what I pick because you are decolonized for like 5 hours, being told whatever they take in school you don't know. So when she comes home, then you have to give her a proper diet, and there's some great improvement in terms of her illness.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's I think
to hear.
we need to go back to our roots and food is healing. Food is medicine. And I'm pro indigenous foods, organic indigenous foods. I think we had this notion growing up, when you're introduced to sausages and hot dogs, you're in a well-to-do home.
Yes.
Only to find out that is what is ushering in this lifestyle diseases.
Yes.
So now we need to process food. So now we need to be a little more conscious about what we are ingesting. And I like that, Jimmy. Maybe...
I'll share.
Send your findings.
I'll share findings. I'll share even the impact.
And the impact.
What is that? The impact is what is
basically why you're doing it and the impact.
Exactly.
Awesome. So we're going to introduce in today's topic.
Sure.
Let's go.
We started off on the series of fatherhood. And so we're looking at fatherhood from different angles. We are not just focusing on the mother and father in a nuclear setting, but we're looking at the different variations of fatherhood that can come about. We touched on last week's episode. We saw I don't know, as I struggle with these labels, but a stepfather. Okay, and what's the context around raising a child who's not biologically your own? And now we're moving to mother wounds and fatherhood. And being raised by, again, I don't like this label. There's nothing like a single mom. It's a single mom, technically, but for as long as you know God. God is the father to the fatherless. He's the husband to the husbandless, if something like that. And so you could have that dynamic in your home, but that doesn't define you. But we want to look at it as a situation. What are some of the wounds that can come out of being raised by a single mom and growing up without a father? Because again, even psychologists have termed this word attachment styles. And the science of it is, or rather the theory goes around how caregivers, your primary caregivers, are the ones who are responsible for the internal mechanisms of safety and trust. Because every child, and I feel that's the beauty, God put us in families so that we can develop trust, safety, unity, and when that is broken, it can fracture a bit of our identity and also our perception of people, life, marriage, unions, relationships. And so we want to look at this dynamic around being raised by a single mom. What does that create for a man who's now a father? Because one thing I like about Jimmi, your story, is it's like you've gone full circle with this whole fatherhood. You were raised by a single mom, and then now you're a father. And I can see your parenting very differently. And so what informs that? Already you've had the check-in, very intentional. But let me bring it into our own woundedness. And I want to just open this conversation by asking, Kevin, have you experienced any form of wounding from your parents? And the reason I ask this is because, people don't believe it, but we are the reasons our children will go for therapy. It is true.
Sad fact.
Sad fact, but it's the reality. Why? Because we are fallen. That's why we need a savior. Now, have you gone through or any form of wounding from your parents, and what does that look like?
Okay, I think first of all, in context, just to understand that wounding is an expectation that I had of what mom and dad should be, and when that expectation is not met, then there's a wound that happens, or even certain messages that have been mentioned or have been said that I take up or that I took up. That forms part of the wounding story that I want to share. So for me, yes, my wounding mostly was on a father who was there but was not there. So it's more or less like a father who tried to show up and do his best. And now my father is late, but there were many shortcomings on my side based on what I felt then he should have shown up as. For example, one of them was, being affirmed and being encouraged is something that I really love. For me, my love language is words of affirmation, and from a very early age, I expected that, especially from the father figures then would protect, would shape a certain rhythm, be the person who envisions how things are. For you would be the Superman for an 8-year-old, 9-year-old boy. And that was not something that I saw happening often. I recall one day when I was about to get married, and I was the first child in my home to get married out of 4 siblings. And then I have 2 elder brothers. And I remember being able to share with my parents that I have seen the one, and there's this one you've been seeing, I've been bringing in, I'm sure you've been noticing. And in the circles of church, because we used to go to the same church with my wife now, I'm sure you've seen someone. Even here when I bring someone, there's one who has been coming often. That one, I'm planning to get married. And immediately that I said that, I could see fear in my dad. My mom was like, "Oh, okay, yeah. You tell us what you need to do, and we'll rock up, we'll prepare." I'm surprised, but anyway, let's see. So now the ultimate voice comes in and says, "I don't think that is something that I'd envisioned for you at this age."
How old were you?
I was 26. But I first told him when I got married, I was 26, but I first told him when I was around 24. So for him, it was like, you've just cleared campus, a couple of years ago, you're just building your career right now. I was newly employed. Maybe not, maybe I was 2 years at a job already. But for him, the ideal expectation was that you should have maybe built fast, stabilized. I had my first car, but it was on loan by that time, and I'd moved out already from the house. But I don't think those were reasons enough for him to be comforted with that news that I'm getting married. And I think for me, the message that came when he told me that was, I don't measure up to that institution of marriage. I'm not ready. And a heavier one that, of course, would have come then that I was feeling was, it's not your time. So, and I'm like, first of all, mastered my energy to come and, telling folks that you're getting married is another process altogether.
It's a serious
You
decision.
even don't sleep the previous night. So for me, I just felt wounded by those words. I felt my expectation was, wow, well done. How can I help you? When can we start this? I'm so excited. Come here, hug, Nini. Come, hey, tell me more about this thing. That's what I was feeling. That was the expectation. But that expectation was not met. And that's what caused the wounding. And there are many others. Well, I'm here, married, 21 years later. And I mean, it was not easy to overcome that hurdle. But I can say that formed part of my wounding later on in life, but I have other wounds that came in much earlier when I was a young boy, which I'll share one day, very soon.
Coming.
Coming soon.
I'm almost asking him. He can come.
He can come there,
and then he goes on and on.
I'll be there very soon.
Come to the King's Chair. Wow, when I listen to your story, it's so similar. It's like these dads went to the same school of training. And it has just brought me back because I have the same father wound. Mine is more of emotional distance and unavailability. Because my dad, as much as, yes, he was a hard worker, he worked in a bank and a lot of his life was at work. But he was also very present at home. The minute he'd leave work, he would be at home, for sure. But it felt like when he was at home, he was in his nothing box. So there was not much of connection. And we kind of feared him more. So we could scatter. We never used to hang around him a lot. And so I also realized that we hadn't built a relationship with him. And when I look back, it's because also he's a very traditional man. And the way he's been brought up, he's even been brought up to raise boys with that hard hand, that heavy hand. He's that person like, you work hard, you only eat what you've killed, no shortcuts. He was a very straight man. Because he's still alive, he's a very straight man. And I started to realize, I don't know my dad much. I don't connect with him as much. And getting his approval was so hard. He only told me once that he's proud of me. And he shook my hand like this. And he said, well done. That's the once in my life did he say well done. And it's because I was first in my class. And so trying to seek that approval over the years, and now coming to the point when I want to get married. My dad gave me grief. What? He painted all the scenarios that could go wrong. Getting married. Have you chosen the right one? Why your brothers are not married?
He told you that too as well?
Yes.
I had a similar actually.
You need to go and ask if they want to get married.
Same here.
Why? Because
so you go ask your older brothers
if they want to get married first before.
It's like a permission. You're asking for permission.
To grant me permission, we need to know if they are still planning on getting married. And why? Because in Meru customs, if the firstborn if the last born gets married before the other siblings, it doesn't go well for them. And I think he held that as true. And he stuck onto it. And I'm like, what do you mean? Me, and now that time I'm a believer. And what are customary laws? So trying to navigate honoring my dad, but still following this thing that God has told me to do. It was such a battle. The tension within for that whole year, because it took about 6 months for him now to step in and now hold my hand into marriage. The other month, it was just a tug of war. We were constantly arguing and fighting. And we came to reconcile a little later, which I'm sure with time I'll tell my story. Even to the point where I told him I love him. And
from that issue,
and I opened up the records, and he gave me the opportunity just to speak. Of course, with a lot of,
that's a lot of grace.
So it was such a moment for me. But it caused a wound in me. And I noticed now, seeking that, I did a lot of things that really harmed me in the process, just to seek a fatherly affirmation. But that's my story. But hey, we're here for your story, Jimmy. So Jimmy, tell us a little about your wounding and take us back to even your childhood setup. Who's Jimmy? How did he come up? How was he raised?
So unlike the both of you, the father was existing but not present. So I remember the first time I saw my father, I was in primary school. I was 11, 12 years old. My mother told me, we take a walk, go buy some oranges in the market, and here we meet. I don't think it was planned. There was no phones back then. Speaking about 90s. And we meet this man, and he has a son, a small boy, like 7 years old or 6, and they have a BMX. The only thing I had, very cool. The only thing I had, it was a bicycle that was handed over from like 3 generations. Like my uncles had used it, like 3 of them, but it was really nice because I have memories of even my grandfather like tilting it and then rolling it and oiling it, and that was very fantastic. So that's the first time I saw my father, and we come back home, and my mom tells me, the man we were with was your father. And I felt nothing about it.
How old were you again?
I think 11. 11. I felt nothing because I wasn't getting the fatherly love. I was craving for it. And every time I was with people who have fathers, or every time there was a visiting day and people could speak about, I was watching a movie. I watched the World Cup. I think around that time was World Cup France. We watched the Olympics with my father. My father took me for football. My grandfather could not do much because he was aging, and he's the one who played as the father that time. So that was primary school.
Okay, so that is your grandfather. Those are memories you had with your grandfather.
Especially in my
playing
age.
father.
He was being father, yes.
What was your situation? Just give me context of
so I'm grateful
how you raised.
My younger self, I'll say below 13, before I entered high school, was I grew up in a village. My mother had 8 other siblings. I was lucky to find 6 of them. So it was, I go home and everybody wants to feed me. Everyone wants to buy me a Christmas gift. They're starting to work. And when they're starting to work, there's money. So everybody goes through California cookies. Moy Avenue brings me cookies. I had the best books. And they used to make me think, and the exposure was very brilliant at that time. The issue started now in high school when they moved out. Because now they're aging and some are getting married, some are getting out of home.
So you grew up with your grandparents?
My grandparents, yes.
And then your mother's siblings, who are now your aunties and your uncles.
Correct.
And where was your mom then?
My mom, from what she tells me, is because of the circumstances because she birthed me when she was in college. And takes me to this big external family, because also her cousins were living in the same neighborhood, or on the same locality. Is she had to go and look for money, So she left me just after she weaned me, which was about 9-11 months. And like you said, the expectation was she would stay, but she didn't stay because here she's a young girl. I'm what is called born out of wedlock. So she has to leave. And the memories I have is her telling me she went to live in Eastlands and could walk. Guys, it's not easy. She walked from Dandora to industrial area. I don't know the distance, but that's quite a walk to go and do manual labor just to get me to get food and to take care of me. So sacrificed quite a lot and left me now with the good hands of the siblings. And the siblings were trying their best. Now I can see to be able to take care of me, which has affected me as a man when I look at it now, because they were doing almost everything. So I am the one who was cleaned. I was the one whose clothes were washed. I was the one who it was a farmhouse. So there were cattle, there were chicken. So my duty was to be the prince of the house and do no manual labor. We used to fight with him most times. And I appreciate what they did at that time. But my mom used to come like once in 3 months because she's making very little and getting bus fare from where she used to work to where we were staying. She would rather keep that to save for my education or to save for my food. But then food and clothing was well compensated by my grandparents. My grandfather was around, and he had raised 9 others. So I barely saw him. I actually barely saw even a marriage for him and Shosho, because I'm meeting them now when they're in their 60s, quite old. So they have already gone through the sequence of marriage.
Interesting. So your mom has been in and out, let's say, in that cycle of 3 months, up to when? Is that time she came now constantly to be in your life, or that was just the cycle all through until you're an adult?
I've never lived with my mother in the same house. The only instance we lived with her was an instant in high school where she came back home. And I think she was changing jobs, and she came back, and we stayed for her like a term, went Form 3. And something else I want to mention that happened when she left is when you're in high school, there's indexing. So you're either index 1, 2, and 3. And to my surprise, I was index 3 now for the preparation for the NEC exam, which is KCSE. And my mom has now left to go back to work. I'm left in this house, and it's quite lonely. We just 3 people. And we are living like 3. No one is checking your homework.
It's like 3 adults.
3 adults. You're probably cooking for yourself. You are also receiving guests quite a lot because they're people from church. So you mature very quickly, but then it's lonely. It's very lonely, and high school was also not a very good experience. I hardly speak of where I went to high school because you were taken to a school because you're loved, so that these people can be able to see you when you come home. I went to high school when schools were being banned. Remember the Changuli and the girls' school in Mombasa, Bombolulu. So there's also, like right now, drugs were also rampant. So they are taking you to a high school where you can be seen as you come home. So I went to a day school that was closer home. That environment was very unsafe for me. And what kept reminding me was unsafe is that I craved for a love that I couldn't find. The name that I carry, and I'm proud of carrying it, now I'm very proud of carrying it, which is Waithera. Is a name that I never used until high school. You realize that you start using your surname when you go to high school. And people were very proud, like because I went to a school that was predominantly Kikuyu. People could use their father's name as a surname for the pride of the family they came from. And I remember we were seated outside, and our teachers comes and says, we're going to put you guys in index numbers based on your performance, and reads 1, 2, 3. And he starts with number 1. The surname is his name, and then Wanjiro. Or he was Njoki. And then that's a Kikuyu name for a woman. And then next 2 is Tata, a lady's name, Kikuyu. And then comes to me and says, James Kamau Waithera. And goes to index 4, and index 4 he goes like, aha, at least this one is raised by a man.
Man.
You want to say that all sharp boys in this class are raised by women. And yeah, it sounded very good to be there.
Yeah, it sounds like it's almost like an identity.
Yeah, almost that sharp boys are
come
raised
from
by
single parenthood families, which
Well, for me, it cheered me deeply because he was an identity carried with a name.
Yeah.
That I don't have expectations over you because you're raised by a single mom. Or you're carrying a woman's name. I probably will excuse him because he was not from our community. And I understand that communities outside Kikuyus, they don't name the way we name in our community. And one of my friends said, after a few weeks, came to me and told me, I know your dad. I know your father. And I asked him, from where? There are people we know in the community. Your father's wife is someone who sings in the choir in church. Surprisingly,
this is someone from your class.
This is someone from my class, a classmate, who was index 6. So from index 4 now, everybody had a father. Then so we are working with him home. Like I said, I was in day school, and he tells me, Jimmy, I sort of know where you're from. And that gave me some joy. And the joy that came to my heart is, he exists. But the memory of 1998, when I met him with the BMX, the boy had already...
It had faded.
Completely.
It was way back.
It was way back. And I quickly now had to go back and check with my mom, waiting for her. You have to wait for her to come home. And I was happy to tell her, I think I need to know my father now. It's around 16 years old. The journey started. I quickly now had to start locating him. So I went back to my friend and I asked him.
Just hold on a bit.
Sorry,
there. I don't think your mom, when you told her that, she was like, oh, well done. Actually, let me introduce. So
what was her reaction?
What was that reaction?
So when she used to come home and make chapatis. Those were very rare. You know, with kuka and shosho, it's getheri and ugali. Getheri is mixture of beans and maize. Then there's good food. But then when she comes carrying goodies, and she's happy to see me. As I remember, I used to have constant headaches on Sundays, just waiting to see her.
Waiting to see her.
Anticipation. Because there's no one who has visited.
Correct.
And the people that I'm with are, yes, they're loving you, but your distance. Because I can't go and tell my guka, I am growing a hair on my on my chest. What does this mean? So I need someone to share that with. Quite a lonely life. You guys see me as an extrovert now. Then I was very introverted. There was a lot of games playing in my head. And asking myself, I'm headed. So just to answer your question, so I had to wait for her to come home, settle, and I was, you know those ones you're peeping, is she alone? And then finally she told me to escort her to the bus stop. And that's when we had a wonderful conversation, and she flowed with the story.
So she was open to it. Okay.
And she told me who he is. And surprisingly, his brother was a friend. The brother of my father, was a good friend of mine. So he was our Sunday school teacher in church. So it was very easy for us to relate and connect him with an identity. The journey to find him was now the next hurdle. So I had to go and tell my grandparents, because you can't just leave home. My grandfather was like your father. You have to announce where you're headed. There's curfew. So we used to go to the posho mill. So on my posho mill journey, I had to lie that I need to go to the posho mill today because I already done the locating. So the location was where he was carrying his business, and his business was a service business. So he was running a clinic in our neighborhood, and the portion mill was just next to it. It was a few yards from it, and went in and told the doctor, "Can I see the doctor?" I told the nurse in charge or the receptionist in charge, and the receptionist said, "I call him. Just give me a sec." And it was the longest stay, waiting on that sofa set and just
He was
waiting
busy.
to see
Dad.
who
Show
this
up.
is. Does he look like?
Yeah.
I remember. I actually now have that picture of even the color of the seat and where I was seated, and the noise around the neighborhood, and patients walking in and out, and I'm being ignored, and wanting to tell the receptionist, "I want to see my father. Like you're blocking me from seeing what I need to see." So he shows up. He doesn't show up from the clinic or from the doctor's room, because the doctor's room was just next to where I was seated. He shows up from the outside. And he comes and he's high. Could smell alcohol from his mouth. He called me my name. And that was the point I felt affirmed, loved and accepted. And when I looked at his teeth, if you look at mine, they are the lower
same.
ones,
Yeah.
they looked completely the same. And he was wearing a polo t-shirt that was blue and white, which is one of my favorite polos. It's like we had shared that polo in the morning.
Wow.
There was an excitement. And then he calls me by name, and he takes me to a bar. He was coming from drinking, so he was excited and said, "Come with me." So we go to this bar, and round the table, I find that he's drinking with my neighbors who knew me and knew my story.
What?
And they're telling him, "This boy has your ears," and they're high. They are all high. And he buys me soda madiaba. You remember the soda that was big?
Yes,
Like a Fanta.
The 500 ml.
Yeah.
No, I
the
took
big one at the bell bottom.
I took a stoonie just to look like
Like you can measure
I
up.
can measure up. Sad story is
This
That's
time
the
now you're in
first time-
form 3.
so yeah.
Form
it
3,
was
form 4 there.
Form 3. It was January. I remember it was January 17. Then Form 3. It was a hot January.
About 17, 16 years
And I
old.
still have my unga here. So I'm actually in anticipation I'll be punished because you've taken longer.
You're supposed to be home.
And he promised to buy me. He actually said he should move in with us. I have a family of 2. We're expecting a third one. And I was like, yeah, maybe finally I can fit into his system. And surprisingly, he knew home. So he took me home, but didn't get inside.
Okay.
The following Saturday, my laundry was very quick to be able to go and meet my father again.
Yeah.
This time I went with questions because I had already told my mom. I found ways to tell mom I met my father, and my mom told me we don't need to get so close to that man.
Oh, this is not from the first experience. You're excited to tell her I found the man who has been away for all these years. And she tells you to cut ties.
Just cut ties.
Yet you're beginning to mend a relationship.
Yeah.
And to make
beginning
a connection.
To make connection. That
You must have
connection.
felt like in a dilemma
Yeah.
and confused. That's confusing. So
Oh,
how are you feeling at that time when she tells you that?
She definitely went back to how the relationships was.
Yeah.
And the relationship was a good love story. They were classmates in primary school. And they got me when they were not ready. And now I went to ask my father this Saturday, why did you do this? Why did you leave us? And I was asking with a lot of bitterness. My anger was, now I could tell I was shouting. Now we are in the room where he has a stethoscope and he has
Just
his
the clinic.
apparatus, the clinic table. That's the scenario, and I'm asking him those questions that I'm on the other side, and he doesn't want to answer. And at some point, I told him that I need you to buy me a trouser. We had these trousers just to fit in high school was very hard, especially at this school. There were these trousers we used to wear that had a broad base, and I wanted one of those. I had checked the price; it was 200 for a second-hand one, and I asked him for that money.
It was stylish.
It was very stylish to fit into. This is when you have one shoe for everything. So you have a shoe for church, you have a shoe for church, and for school is the same. Because my mom is saving for university.
Yes.
When you ask her for money, she's saving for university, and at this age you do not understand that. All you want is to add into your stylish clothes.
Correct.
Yeah.
And he told me to go back to those that have been taking care of me.
Oh. Hey.
So you, because you can really feel let down, because this is your biological dad, and at that point in time, I'm just trying to imagine you've come with this hope that now we are reconnecting. I'm sure, Dad, you will love to hear what I'm going through and maybe meet some of my needs now that we have been disconnected for a while. Only for him to say to go back to the family. So. Yeah, so
he didn't stop it at it, because you see, he had promised to buy me nyama choma. Nobody had ever bought me nyama choma. The nyama choma I used to have was at home. So this person is telling you, I'll take you out for the next time we meet, we want to go to a bar. And I was quite caught aback when he told me we went to a bar. Well, I was happy to have him. I was also asking myself, this is the lifestyle that he's getting me into. So this time I was excited that he'll be sober and he will take me for nyama.
You were longing for that.
Never happened that Saturday. Immediately he told me, I asked him, he promised me nyama. He said, so you can't eat beans. You are so privileged that you want nyama. This is when my mom's words were now right.
Yeah.
That is not the guy for you. Though I remember several times we met, and every time I met him now, he was starting to deteriorate in terms of his the aura of someone who's respectable in society, a clinician. So now he's changing to a drunkard and someone who is now wasteful. I mean, always seeing him with different women, and word now went across that he had already cut ties with a wife.
Yeah.
Who had with a little one.
Okay. Wow. First, Jim, thanks for just sharing that. Thank you for going there. And so how did, now this is high school, I'm imagining all these things happening in high school. Mom is still out grinding. You're being raised by Gukan Shosho in your home. So you grow up now you go into uni.
Yeah.
Any occurrences in uni before you now get a wife and have a family? Anything that came up and that kind of reflected the wounding and what you had to go through coming up?
So in uni, because of the experience of now the introduction of who he was and also cutting ties, and now starting to realize that my mother was right about my father. That realization itself made me to now take the bull by its horns and know that I'm responsible for my life.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do not have someone to go back to. You mentioned when you're getting married. So when I'm choosing my career, your uncles and aunties are not available. My grandfather wants me to open for me like a hardware, Hardwares are good.
Yeah.
But he wants you to go technical. I'm not very technical because I'm used to things being done for me. So it took a while before I formed an identity of a career or where I'm headed to. And I could bounce off through friends. So you studying nothing? Maybe I should try nothing. Does my grade allow me to form this? But maybe I should try nothing just to be like my father. Or maybe I should be a teacher. Maybe I've considered many things. And how I've actually got myself into university was through a friend who told me, let's go and check out this college. And you go to this college and I find the fees and I drop everything at home And my grandfather and my mother say, this looks like you. So study this. So I struggled after high school to form an identity. There was no one who looked at my grades and said, good job.
Even just to affirm you for that.
To affirm me for,
Yeah.
But I have to wait for my mother to come over the weekend to check my grades. And I know if I tell her too much, she'll start thinking about, are you getting, where are we going to get the money to take you to university?
Yeah.
But now even I say this, I appreciate my uncles and aunties because they came back together and paid for my college degree, the whole of it. And after that, I started working. I was lucky to start working quite early.
Okay.
And starting to feed myself and finding how fast can I move out of this place and get married. So that this loneliness just... So I remember the first time, maybe just before I give you my college story, I remember when I got married to my wife, I told her, thank you so much for coming into my life. I was lonely. I'm an only child. And thank you for accepting me. Acceptance was like, even to date, I still ask why she accepted someone like me. It's the brokenness and the pain of being rejected and there's a way that darkness just is the one that shows on your face. The love just goes away. So it's now that I'm realizing that there was so much love from other people, like my grandparents, but then my wife coming and accepting me, quite honorable. Let's go back to the name Waithera. There is a relative who once told me that I won't go too far.
You won't go too far
with the name Waithera. This person was supposed to connect me to something, and I had sent him my CV. And instead of looking at the CV, he stopped at the surname.
So what was he expecting? For you to drop the surname?
The surname being your mom. Now.
Yeah, now.
I had some boldness at that time because then I'm older and have seen, I can't take my father's name. Because I had already asked for remember the high school scenario?
Yes.
I had already seen the birth certificate. My father's name was not there. The name that was there was mother's name. So in my head when he's saying this, and I remember we were driving somewhere with him, is to ask him then which should I take, and say, but you guys have a family name, take your grandfather's name or his father's name. Children who are born like you who use their mother's name, some
don't go far.
Go far. A director will look at your name and see you're spoiled. He used names that hurt me. I lived after that just thinking, it's just asking Swahili, nilikosea nani? Am I supposed to live like this? Is this, should I stop a man by the road and ask him, can I take your name? Disturb me for a few months.
You can imagine now that for you, that's an identity issue, because I mean, when you look at even our community, the Kikuyu, I come from the Kikuyu community, and even the African context, that thing of using a feminine name on a man or on a boy attaches certain identities and expectations of the community around you. And it's sad that, I mean, I remember the marathon runner, Simon Wanjiru.
Simon Wanjiru.
And for that was the first thing, or probably the first season in this country where people were like, oh, there's a hero called Simon Wanjiru. And everybody was asking, why Wanjiru? Where is the father? Where is the father's name in Wanjiru? Yet this guy was a champion. He was a marathon runner, and he won accolades upon accolades. And I'm thinking, whereas that's what the world expects, that you will not go far. God has a different story for you.
Correct.
I look at so many people like that Simon Wanjiru. The name did not stop. Actually, probably that was a charge for him to keep at it and be a champion. So I'm just like, I mean, I'm just addressing people out there who have been carrying this name, your mother's name. There is no shame. There is no shame in that at all, because the purpose that God has created for you is bigger than naming.
Yeah,
naming is big. We understand that. But it's beyond the things that the communities and also culture has been able to form about you carrying your mother's names.
Yeah.
No shame about it. Please.
Yeah.
God has a different story for you.
Absolutely. Yeah, and there are so many heroes. Even when I look at our African heroes, Kina Trevor Noah, Vusi Thembekwayo, those are Pan-Africanists. Some of them are just from single mom homes. And yes, you did not choose that dynamic, but it does not make you less than. Let me ask Jim. So you are now in this situation. Now you're getting married. How did you see some of the, let me say, the woundedness play out? Like, how was, and I don't like using the shadow because people are like, what's this shadow people keep throwing around? But those areas of vulnerability, how did they start playing out in your marriage?
Maybe I shall take you to, I related to both of your stories. So how was it when I said, I have found a beautiful girl, and we need to head to start the process. I made this announcement definitely first to my mother. My mother met my wife and she liked her and she said, let's proceed. But then telling my mother, we need to start the process of dowry payment. She was excited about it, but did not know how to step up and help me. And definitely now, we've been 10 years married. Good thing.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well
10
done,
years.
well
10 years
done.
is here. 10 years ago, looking at how old she was and what she knew, I think she was confused. Approaching my uncles who were also relatively young. These are people that I was with in the same house. Now they're looking at this little boy. He's now asking us to go and pay dowry. There was silent months, like 4 months. I want things to move, but they're not moving. So they had to catch up very quickly. So for me, those 4 months were not very good. And I think a lot of single kids who come from single families, especially from, if the uncles do not step up quickly or the mother doesn't have a community that helps her to understand that this is the way to go, that's for it is a dilemma. And specifically, I was now lucky to answer your question. How this has played up in my marriage is I found a very good father-in-law. I was fearing to meet the father because you've never met a father, and the association that father-in-laws have with their sons. That for me, when I was getting married, was like, you put a block. So every time he calls you the initiative years of marriage, or every time he shows up as a father, we're getting into my space, or I have never received this kind of love when he calls, because he calls and tells me, oh, you've gone quiet, you need to come by, we need to celebrate something. I look at it and I can't believe that this is my father. Another way is, my wife complains I'm not very technical. So if there's a broken stool,
Mr. Handyman.
Mr. Handyman has to call for help. I am improving though. But then, like the other day, we had a problem with our door, and then just it just needed a screwdriver because this is not something I saw. So my grandfather had delegated this to my uncles. So whenever I want to touch that hammer, no, you'll hurt your finger. Whenever I want to lock up the cows, something very basic. Protection. The cows will. When I want to go and learn how to milk, no, you'll get your hands soiled. Go and study. You and also me. So one of the things that showed up is that. The other way is, and I remember when I started this work for Crucible, one of the things that my wife told me is, I've seen you change in terms of your masculinity. You're showing on very well. I had to take time and explain to her, this is where I'm coming from. But you grew up in a place where your father used to do ABCD. I do not know how to come home with meat. It's just as basic as that.
To just know what a good cut
I don't know how to. Like yes, I do not know. Now I have read widely. I know the silver side where the briquette is. I can tell where those things are because those things were done by other people. And that's the way it showed up. Another way is, it served me the right way, is the boldness that I carry. It's shaped the person and my career, because you do not have someone to look back to. Like, I know if I fall, I'm on my own.
Yes.
You see, you both have brothers. So if you need like a 20K, a 10K, you know someone you can call. One of my shortcomings is I don't know how to call for help. So I've been at a petrol station and I know I'm running out of gas and I need just 500. I don't know how to call.
You have to just...
I have to struggle before I even ask my wife for help. It's now with this work that we're doing that I have brothers that I can tell, hey, ikuna vile gas hapa imekatika. Ama I can't be able to afford ABC. I'm just trying to remember the last one. Please carry on.
Yeah. And did you have something to ask?
I mean, I was just, you see, for this whole thing now, he's talking about now getting a wife.
Yes.
And now that you're married, and I'm just imagining now you're stepping into the father role in a place where it is not modeled for you. And I know you've mentioned about those challenges, but then how many times have you found yourself catching yourself and saying, I wish I had a father to have shown me these things? And yet your wife knows your history. Your wife knows the complexity of growing up in a single mother home. Did it present challenges, even between you and her, where you felt like you had the pressure to just to prove yourself, as opposed to just being an organic man stepping into the role of fatherhood, your God-given role of being just a father?
One of the challenges I see, and I don't think it's her fault, is she doesn't understand this world. And I don't understand her world. I think it's taken us about 5 years to be able to understand each other's worlds. Because every time I try and tell her I didn't have a father, she tells me, please stop saying that. It shouldn't define you.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's not right. Then every time I see her that she has a reporting structure, I don't have a reporting structure.
Right.
Then I have to understand her in terms of she has a reporting structure. I make decisions very quickly and firmly, and that's also a problem to her. She tells me, don't you just pause and think about it?
And consult. You're very
independent-minded.
Yeah.
It works in other ways. There are spaces that I go to and Jimmy, we like your independent-minded. We like your attitude towards this. But then it's because there's no shield. You just dive into it. The other one is I have been accused even by my daughters that I shout. When I'm giving instructions.
You shout.
I shout it off. And today is when I realized, when I spent a bit of time with my grandfather, that he went through the colonial system. The people born in the 30s went through the
silent generation.
Exactly. And it was brutal for them. So the way my grandfather brought us up, instead of giving you directions of like, move this cup, it had to be move this cup. So I'm now trying to get more tender because I'm raising girls and not push it. There is also a structure that was brought by my old man. So this is someone who worked for the colonialists. So it's timekeeping, it's structure. It helped me because I'm a project manager. So being raised by a grandfather and a grandmother who are farmers, is that they have dates when they sire their animals, when they take them for how they plant their crops, brings order. And my wife likes that. Those are the positive things.
The positive things.
The negative ones, which I don't want. She finds me very spoiled and careless. Toto mom. And there's that perception about children who are raised by single parents. There's that
mothers.
one. The other one is my own daughter has asked me where my father is. And she used to ask that a lot when she was 5, 6, and she's finding her identity. So she says, when we visit my mother, there are 2 parents. But when I visit your mother,
there's no dad, there's no Buka.
No Buka. Where are you from? Who is your father? And I had to ask my mother, what do I tell? What do I tell? And my mother just said, we can discuss that later. It was, but then it hit her when my daughter visited her and said, you don't have a husband?
No, man. And the kids are so bold.
And good thing I had hinted to her that, I didn't share this. My father unfortunately left us
Oh, okay.
in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
A story
Paul.
for another day. Her departure was also a remarkable place. But then I told my daughter, just to go back to how I responded was, he went to heaven. It was an age where we were trying to introduce death conversations to her.
Okay.
And when she went to visit my mother, she said, I was told your husband
Yes.
went to heaven.
Mm.
And I liked how I handled it, because after that she moved on. I showed her a picture. And she was like, okay. But she had a man in church who was called James, who she used to say, that's your father? That's your father?
Really?
Yeah. So she was trying to look for, and I could tell that's the little me trying to look for identity across.
Yes.
I made many fathers.
Yeah.
Like, I could be a good father to me.
Right.
Like, you go to a space or you see your mom talking to a man and you think maybe that's like when you go with her and she's come home after the 3 months and I tell her Manuel and she takes me to see a doctor and on our way maybe she laughs with a man and I'm like, maybe that's my father. So my daughter was now a reflection of she's trying to identify with a man she likes in church.
Yeah.
Who plays with her, who is older, a man who we work with in church, and calls her Guka. And she's trying to, because she this is a nuclear family, mom and dad. Everybody has a mom and dad. So where is this guy's dad?
Yeah.
And she constantly keeps asking. Probably one day I'll take her to the where we buried my father.
Yeah.
I would like you to go to how you are parenting differently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and just because of the interest of time, I would love, that's another conversation we should have
of how he's
parenting differently. Because right now, I'm sure with all these lessons, I mean, you can tell Jimmy is very aware about some of these shortcomings. You must be doing something different with your own children. What is that? What are you doing differently that you hadn't gotten before?
So I'm not an expert motherhood.
Yeah.
However, I can tell I have to be very intentional. Like you said, I do not want to send my kids to therapy or to look back. And I receive my daughter is very outspoken, the firstborn.
Yeah.
She gives me feedback on the go. You shouted at me. Dad, why are you shouting? But now my parenting is very intentional. I'm present. I'm present in every school activity. I remember there was a time I had to change a flight. That was supposed to be morning to Kisumu, to afternoon or evening, so that I could attend her
sports
day. And that is from a wound where my mother was not present for my school activities, and to give her some graces because she was not available because she was working.
Yeah.
And also, she had already left me in good hands, but then the good hands were busy. So my grandparents would rather go and look for hay for their cattle than come to us to a praise giving day. Or you're good in geography. That one. Good job.
Yeah. You've done enough. The grades speak for themselves.
The grades speak for themselves. Actually, they're asking you, and we have seen other grades. We have other 9 children here. Yours is. So I'm present. When I graduated even from uni, I was alone with my girlfriend. Who's my wife now. I blame myself. I didn't see the need of inviting anyone, because then you go through nursery, primary, and it's your grandparents who show up, or they don't show up, or they show up for a very little time. My grandfather is a timekeeper, so he looks at the head teacher and says, write for me what you want to tell me. Is the school fees paid? Let's. This is such a long meeting. So I'm raising them differently. I'm trying my very best to be present. If not even telling employers or my clients, I'd rather work from home. Just for me, the beauty of just seeing them coming from school. I have spent a night with my daughter in hospital when she was unwell. We've been admitted with her. When my children, specifically the second one, the firstborn, because of circumstances, I wasn't present. I was not there when she was born. When the birth was happening. But for my second born, I was present. I was there, and it's for their birthdays, even if it's that small cake from the supermarket, it has to be there.
Yeah.
Have I told you I celebrated my first birthday? I bought myself that cake because Shosho used to buy me the buffalo.
How you celebrated your
birthday?
Which one?
When I was 27.
When 27.
That is when I had a real cake.
Yes.
Oh.
My Shosho used to tell me, it's your birthday. Take this 10 bob. No, buffalo.
Buffalo.
And you take buffalo and tea.
That's really the chance.
That's really the
upcountry life.
So now I'm trying to gift, to hug. There is a rule in my house that hugs here are allowed.
Yes.
We laugh openly. I'm encouraging them to laugh for stupid things. Because being brought up by a colonial person, or person who went through a tyranny, does not allow you. You laugh when it's you laugh when you need to laugh.
Yes.
So to answer your question, we are laughing more. I'm gifting more. I'm present more, and we're doing homework together. Wow. I miss that.
Wow.
Jimmy, I commend you for that. I commend you for entering a space where you've challenged yourself to be the father that you never saw. And I think the other thing that I'm also seeing is that you're giving a lot. But fatherhood, to me, Kenji, is giving and receiving.
Yes.
Okay? And I don't know, you mentioned about dad passing on. Do you have a father figure who you actually have seen, who gives you stability, who gives you some identity of some sort, or some recognition, or some that affirmation today? A father figure. Or maybe, is your wife married?
No, I'm married to my wife.
No, is your wife, is the father still?
Yes, the father is still there.
Oh yeah, no, he's already mentioned.
I said
the father.
The father.
Already mentioned that.
All right. Okay, I missed that.
Okay.
I think I missed
that. So
there's
to answer your question, there's that. My father-in-law we had a nyama with him this Sunday.
Oh, nice.
So then there's that affirmation. And when we meet, we have our two side shows.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have our conversations that my wife does not understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen him even when you have a project, he shows up at the project and even helps fund it. Like, how much is that item? And sends money. I've seen him even visit my grandfather.
Yeah.
And even them exchanging cows. You know, like,
Father,
your cow died.
Yes.
Can I have your small calf? So I've seen my father-in-law.
Yeah.
And also my uncles. They didn't know how to do this, but even the rite of passage, they took care of it very well. Right now I can tell them, we even go back and laugh at the things they used to do to me, and they tell me, Jimmy, you came to us, you were Spaceman X.
Yeah.
We were running through you. We are learning now how to bring our sons through you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so there are those people that are showing up.
Amazing. Amazing.
Man, I think, Jimmy, fantastic story. I like how you even very clear about your journey and how you're being a very intentional dad. I think that just shows, there's no pain that goes to waste. It's been used. It's fuel. It's fuel for your next season of life. So amazing. So let's just move into this container questions.
Yes.
I also want to hear my co-hosts say a few things. We've denied him the opportunity to drop his wisdom.
It's just that Jimmy's story is so rich and so touching.
Yeah.
And just the man that I'm seeing in him today, the turnaround.
Yeah.
Is not easy. It's not easy. Jimmy, fathers pour in a lot of identity.
As you pick one.
Yeah, because you see, I'm just imagining all those seasons of your life when there were so many phases that you went through. What do you call them? This, moving from primary school to high school, those milestones of life without a father. It's not easy. And then now, you're now the one giving. Okay? And when I look at you, I just imagine the life of Abraham. And the blessing of Abraham, where in Genesis 12 and 13, God decides to bless him to be a father of many nations. But on one condition, take care of your family first. You have to start from your own household to claim this big promise. And that's what I'm seeing in you. I'm seeing that thing of being a present father, being a connector with your wife. Your father-in-law. How many of you are that close to your father-in-laws? As in this is your pal, is your friend. And so I see that blessing following you. That in the space where you lacked a father, you'll be a father to many. Yeah.
Amen. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Both biological and also around you.
Around me.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I'd love to move us to the container moment.
I'd already picked one.
Yeah, so these questions just help us reflect. And what I love about them is that they give us a chance also to look at those areas we do not go so often. So,
True.
Karibu.
I like how you're saying karibu to these difficult questions. If the little boy inside you could sit at his table today, what would he want every man here to understand
When
about
you say his table,
him?
you mean God's table? Or?
So if the little boy inside you could sit at this table today,
this, okay.
yes. So you know, in my younger past, what would he want every man here in this table to understand about him?
Okay, do it.
This one needs to
Marinate on it.
Yeah. If the little boy inside you could sit at this table. So this is about the little boy. This is not about the father of the little boy, even though we are talking about fatherhood. As a little boy, I would need a father. I would need an anchor. I would need a stronghold. I would need a backbone, a protector. But above all that, as a little boy, I'll need affirmation. I'll need encouragement. I'll need to hear, well done. Keep at it. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You're not like the others. You're special. You're not like the others in the sense of I don't want to be compared to the others, to feel like I don't measure up, to feel like others are greater than me, that I am enough, that I am capable of anything that I put my mind into, and complete that capability very well. That's what I would like as a little boy, that this table, I want every man to understand about me.
Aho,
I see you.
I see me.
You've done it so well. In fact, I was just taking those words as my own to affirm myself.
Yeah.
Because every man needs to be seen
Yes.
and to be heard and to have a place to belong.
Yep.
Yeah.
Correct.
So let me move to my question. It cut.
Those are two.
No.
These are two you should do.
So maybe it wasn't meant to be mine. No, it's one, but now I have to piece it. What have you spent years trying to prove, and who were you hoping would finally notice? God!
Looks like they're getting more. We're getting more wisdom as we go.
This is spot on.
That one is. Let's hear you answer that.
I have tried to prove, one, that I'm capable, I can be seen, and I'm enough. And I've been trying to prove it to my dad. And let me put it this way. My father, as I've mentioned, traditional man, had to please. And because he has very high expectations of himself, he also places it on us. And now for me as his son, I think I've never really gotten his full approval, in the sense that I know that deep down he could be proud of me, but he's not said it. He's not used his mouth.
Yeah.
And so I have tried to go into spaces to prove myself. If you look at my story, I shared my story. I was once here on the King's Court. And I came and I mentioned and I said all these escapades that I was going through.
Yeah.
All that was just to get approval from the men around me. Now, the men around me were my peers, but they spoke into that need. Because when I was the most courageous and I would, experiment on different drugs, I'd be the one to go out hunting those babes. I would be the one to have, the stars of a general. I just want to be seen. And I want my peers to be like, look at him.
Yes.
You can't match up. And so when I look at it, it's just basically me trying to seek my father's approval. Because I believe if he used to say these words, I love you, I'm proud of you, I see that effort, I know what it takes to be who you're trying to become, I promise you I would not be trying to match up to anything. I'll just be living a life from an affirmed place. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I don't have to cause havoc to prove myself. And because it has cost me so much pain. And unentangling myself from that pain has not been easy. And that makes me want to do things different and just hug and love on my children and always make sure that I don't have this conditional approval, only celebrating them when they do something good. But in all seasons, even when they are not at their best, I'm able to appreciate the little things that they do. Yeah, so, yeah.
Wow. So thank you for being vulnerable on that one. Very, very well answered.
Yeah.
Here I go.
What a Jimmy.
Over to you, Jim.
Why are your hands shaking?
See, I'm doing mambo jumbo there.
He's trying to go to the bottom. Maybe the ones at the top are the ones that are intrusive. All of them.
Growing up, what story did you begin to believe about yourself because of your father's presence or absence? I'll choose absence because my father was absent. I think, like you said, Kenji, is the pain that I went through is the one that has helped me get to where I am right now. And I also want to look at the camera and tell single parents, if you're raised by a single mom or a single dad, or your parents were absent, it is your pain will be your story. I think one of the things that I started believing about myself is correctly that I am on my own. It's lonely. This is a situation, I can't change it.
Yes.
But then also the belief of even getting to know Christ and who he is, and got to know him when I was tender. I was 17 or 18 thereabout. Also allowed me to know that I have a father in heaven. So even during my wedding, when I'm marching alone to the front to now come and receive the bride,
Yes.
it's just to know that around me there is a father. I will not say it has been easy. Sometimes trusting God is the most difficult thing, because then you don't have him to hug you, to affirm you. But then he gives me this assurance that everything is going to work out. And that's my answer.
Wow. I
Jimmy.
think Jimmy, you've really spoken for those that grew up without either of their parents, whether it's a dad or a mom. I think you've articulated the absence and the wounding and the blessing so well. Jimmy, thank you. Your story is remarkable. I want to turn us over into a time of blessing. And as we do in this podcast, we love to extend a piece of ourselves and bless a man.
Thank you.
Because Jimmy, I believe, that this situation you're in, first, is not unique, and God didn't place you in this situation to break you. He didn't do it to break you.
Amen.
In fact, I want to read, because I'm just trying to see in Isaiah chapter 43 verse 1, it says, I have called you by name. You are mine. You know, before anyone called you theirs, including your own parents, including your own Guka, your Shosho, and the people who raised you, God already had called you. First, isn't it beautiful to see that you were chosen even before others chose me? And that is the point of affirmation, the blessing to you that is that, Jimmy, you will call and name people, and mostly your children, and call them your own.
Amen.
They don't have to be biologically yours, because I'm seeing you play a bigger role, because you know the value of community.
Yes.
I see you being a father to many.
Amen.
And people who will come with
I
broken
receive it.
hearts.
I receive that.
They won't come complete.
Wow.
They will come with the need to be affirmed, the need to be seen, the need to be loved, but you'll give them a safety like no other. Knowing that I have been there, and because I've been there, I can extend grace and love to you, so that you can grow up as a whole being, knowing that God first loved you.
Amen.
That's my
you.
blessing
Amen.
to you, Jimmy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Amen. I receive
That's a
it.
beautiful blessing. But a beautiful blessing. I think for me, I just love the way you bless, first of all, Kenji. Mine comes from Proverbs chapter 20, verse 5. And this was written by the wisest man who ever lived, King Solomon. And says, counsel in the heart of a man is like deep waters. A man of understanding draws it out.
Amen.
And so what I'm hearing today, and what I'm hearing from you, is that you've been able to tap into the well. And that well is from your Savior, Lord and Jesus Christ, who's modeled what being a father is for you. And you have so much understanding of what a father is, of what a father could be, without even having a model.
Amen.
The only model is our Father in heaven,
Father in
through His Son, Jesus Christ.
Amen.
And that's what I'm seeing, that the Lord has walked with you. The Holy Spirit is called the counselor. So when He says counsel in the heart of a man is like deep water, you are constantly drawing from the Holy Spirit on what a father should look like, and how should be molded and should be in terms of outpouring. And so I pray that many people, through your counsel as well, of those who do not have any fathers, will be drawn to you. And that they'll have meaning and understanding by watching your life of what a father should be.
Amen. 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 I receive
That's
that.
my blessing for you, man.
Thank you.
I love you, brother.
Love you too.
Yes.
Kenji too.
Wow.
Love you too, Kenji. Thank you.
I love you too, Jimmy. Yeah. First, I like just how natural it is. You know, the I love you too. You don't have to have down a bottle of whiskey and take 2 showers.
Showers of what?
You know, some people feel so unclean after.
Yes.
But it is just to show just the connection that we have. And Jimmy, any last words that I know you've spoken to the single moms out there, but also please speak to that person who chances are could be in the same situation as you are. What would you tell them? That young boy, that young man.
I'll tell them they're not alone.
Yeah.
I think it's taken me a number of years to know that I am not alone. And I will ask them to just look back. If I'm looking back, I see, and I said that, I remember those Christmas clothes. There's someone who did for you something, even if it means just paying school fees for you. Your mother is there. If your mother is live, then you have something. And I'll tell them that, like we've concluded that our Lord is our Father. He indeed says that He's the Father to the fatherless. So those are my words.
Wow. Beautiful
Wonderful.
way to wrap up this episode.
Yeah.
Jimmy, again, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Kevin, thank you for just dropping the wisdom. I just want to leave it with our audience, our contents. you know.
Contents.
That's a new name, eh?
No.
Let them give a name.
Excuse me, calling who content?
Social media content.
No, they said they'll give us a name, but we really want to understand what's your maybe single parent dynamic and how you navigating through that season. As we mentioned, you're not alone, but how are you navigating? Maybe you can put it in the comment section. Someone can learn a thing or two from your situation. So thank you. If you've come this far, you're our peoples. So thank you for watching, and we will see you on the next one. Ciao.